you learned about the rivalry with Georgia Tech in your time here, and sort of what it means to both programs and also the Georgia fan base?
Growing up, I didn't watch much football. I didn't wasn't really growing up on it. I just knew that there's always that, the clean fashion, old hate, or whatever the saying is for it. And knowing that there's always, disgust or whatever you may want to call it between the two schools, and that the rivalry was a hard-fought battle between teams, and it always will be, no matter what. So. At least someone's got questions.
Yeah. You wound up being named one of the co-special teams players of the week. Just what did it mean to get that honor coming off the Kentucky game?
It's pretty awesome, being able to step up when my team needed me and execute in a good fashion. Also pretty cool to see that a long snapper was able to split the honors with me is pretty awesome. They do their job well, and he did it pretty awesome. So.
Is Kirby or any other coach that kind of getting you to spiel, get back to the rivalry with Georgia Tech about why it's a big deal? A lot of you guys really aren't, maybe aware how big it maybe used to be more so than it is now.
Right. That'll start today. We'll have our team meetings. We'll finish off the recap of this past weekend, and then we'll start on Georgia Tech today. So I'm sure he'll go over it then.
Yeah, conditions were not great on Saturday. How difficult was it to kick at Kentucky, given the wind and everything that was going on there?
At the end of the day, I'd like to think it's a 70% mindset thing, 30% conditions. You've got to go out there and you do your job. Whether that means aiming outside of the field goal post for the wind to take it back in, whether it means alternative kicks, you have to go deep right, you have to go sky right, deep left. Total mindset thing, but also, it's fun when you get to face adversity and do different things. So.
Kirby talked about his comfort with you as the kicker, referring to you as Mr. Consistency. How much does that build up your confidence as this team's kicker?
It definitely builds my confidence a little bit to know that he's able to rely on me and that I can go out there and kick a field goal, and no matter the distance, I can execute. I've also just got to be comfortable with myself. A lot of it's self-confidence. So.
Jack, what kind of mood is Stetson in when third down doesn't go very well and he's got to stay on the field and hold you?
I hope that mood changes pretty quickly once the ball goes through the uprights, but definitely running out onto the field. I think I can remember the third or second field goal specifically. He's out there and he's just shaking his head. He's like, oh man, this is not great. This isn't 7 points, this is only 3. So once it goes through the uprights, though, it changes a little bit.
Jack, listening to you a minute ago describe the different kicks, right, left, height. It almost sounds like you're, using your leg like a golf club or something. Are there a lot of golf analogies to kicking? Are you a golfer, and can you talk about that mentality you have to have?
Yeah, there definitely is similarities. A lot of it comes from the hips. Golf's mainly hips. Kicking, mainly hips. Depending on how you use your driver, you've got different clubs in the bag. You can compare that to an onside kick. You can compare that to a sky kick, a deep kick, field goals. In golf, you've got to aim some places that you may not expect it to aim, and the wind's going to blow it 30 yards that way. So just staying confident in the mentality that that the wind's going to keep blowing. If you're aiming outside the right upright and the wind stops, you're screwed. But you've got to stay confident that that wind's going to keep blowing. So.
I don't remember if you walked before the game last year, and I think you do still technically have another year of eligibility next year. What are you looking forward to most about Saturday? Potentially being your last home game. Is it your last home game? And do you have a favorite Georgia memory in your time here?
Yet to be decided if it will be my last home game. That'll come at the end of the season. But I think I'm looking forward to having all the fans in Sanford Stadium packed out, hopefully. If it is the last time, getting to go out on top with all the Georgia fans surrounding me. So.
Jack, at the end of the TCU game Saturday, they set it up for him. They said it wasn't as frantic looking because they put it there. What kind of conversations do you have with the coaches on if a play like that, if it's your choice,
right,
where the hash mark is, and does that change game to game based on warm-ups and how you feel about that field or the conditions?
Yeah, definitely. It was a great execution by them. I'm sure that it was still frantically, the feeling of it was still frantic, but it looked well executed. It normally, I mean, some kickers may tell you that they don't have a preference, whether it's left, right, middle, left, middle, right, middle. They're lying, I think. We all have our preferences. I'd say mine's middle, you know, gives me the best angle. I don't have to cut off anything. You know, it goes in, we talk about it every week. You know, we go through that scenario every Friday walkthrough. Hopefully we have 15 or more seconds on the clock to be able to run out there. I'd like to think that my 40-yard dash time is a little good to, you know, maybe 12 seconds or more, but we don't know, so.
What's your relationship like with Brett Thorson? Because I know, didn't he come and visit you and your family on July 4th and all that?
He did.
And how's that progressed over the last couple of months?
I'd call Brett one of my best friends. I was actually just telling them out there that this is a lifelong friendship. You know, it's not one where if I leave a year from now, I'm gonna forget about. He'll definitely stay close to me, and I'll stay close to him, and definitely stay in touch. And I'm hopefully can visit Australia one day, fingers crossed. And I'm sure that he'll be coming back down to St. Simons sometime soon.
And did you get to meet his family when they came up here?
I did, and they're just as great as him, if not better. So.
Wonder if you could just speak as a team leader. How much at this point, obviously you guys are 11-0, is the pursuit of perfection? I mean, obviously that's you're trying to win them all, you know,
right,
week to week, but just the pursuit of perfection. How much is that part of this?
I mean, we're definitely human. No one's ever going to be perfect, but we want to try and achieve perfection. You know, going out there, winning every game. As Coach Smart mentioned, it may not be the prettiest. It may look ugly, but a win's a win. As long as we can improve on our mistakes in the past, I'd say that's chasing perfection. So.
Jack, I'm just curious, did you watch the end of that TCU game when they had to run on the field with the kicker and get that kick at the last minute?
I watched the recap of it because I forget what time that game was at. I don't think I was able to catch the end of it, but I saw the recap, and it was very well executed.
How hard was that to do from your perspective?
I mean, everyone does that situation a little bit differently, like according to the kicker. Some will take steps off, some won't. He didn't take steps off, which, like, I applaud him for that, because I probably would have tried to take the steps off, and that might have hurt me, might have helped me, who knows, but it's pretty difficult.
Two non-football questions here. One, you excited the World Cup is underway, U.S. plays today, and two, do you have a favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Most definitely excited. Hopefully can watch that game a little bit in the meetings, but don't tell Coach Smart. And favorite Thanksgiving dish would probably be pecan pie for dessert, so a little bit of ice cream.
So you mentioned the different kicks. Can you kind of walk us through what those are and what's supposed to happen in each one of those? Because some of us don't know all that stuff.
Right. I mean, deep right, some guys take a little bit more of an angled approach, so you're going to step out wider, open up your hips a little bit more to go right, sky right. And kickoffs, you normally skip through, landing on your right foot. Sky right, you normally kind of approach it like a field goal, just skipping through and landing on your left foot still. You're not trying to put as much power into it because you're trying to put it around anywhere between the 20 and 30. Sky left could be the same case. So.
Just those four?
There's definitely other different kicks, but I mean, how much time do you have? So.
Any more questions for Jack?
Jack, as a noted Phillies fan, I have to ask how long it took to kind of move on past that. In 2023, you think this team's gonna break through?
I think I'm still not getting past it. No, I mean, the Phillies had a good run, and really excited to see how they came together as a team. You know, hopefully everyone was cheering for them besides the Astros fans. And I saw that one of you guys is an Astro fan, tweeted after, but I think 2023 will go well, hopefully.
All good with Jack? Okay, Jack, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.